Not so long ago, in a village where the St. Francois River meets the St. Laurent, there lived a baby girl. The story goes that when she was just 6 months old, she was afflicted with a terrible illness. On the night that everyone thought would be her last, she fell into a deep coma. The doctor ordered that she not be touched, and everyone gathered around her, helpless and waiting. All of a sudden, the door swung open, and in came a great aunt, known as a healer. She wrapped up the babe and carried her off to a small shack in the village. The baby remained in her care for 6 months, and no one else knows how, but she survived. Her name was Alanis Obomsawin, and she would grow up to become Canada's most distinguished documentary filmmaker. As a young girl, Alanis lived in the Odanak village of the Abenaki people. Her youth was peaceful and full of fond memories of the brilliant colored splints used to make the beautiful white ash baskets and the smell of sweetgrass. She spent the days delivering her aunt's homemade bread, singing songs in her rocking chair, and learning the stories of her people. When she was 9 years old, she and her parents uprooted to Trois-Rivières. She was the only native child in town, and not fluent in French or English. Here she had to survive a lot of things that are not nice to think about. She endured daily abuse and hostility from her classmates and teachers. After her father's death, she fought back against native stereotypes. The more she was told she couldn't do something, the more she was motivated to do it. Alanis was a fighter and wanted to make a change.
Before beginning her career as a filmmaker, Alanis moved away from the place where she underwent so much pain. It's after pursuing a short career modeling in Florida that she followed her calling as an artist. Her music began the path that would lead her to achieving her goal of bringing focus to the history of First Nation people. Alanis' singing allowed her to explore and share the traditional music of her people.
Alanis has made a total of 52 films. In 1977, she filmed Mother and Many Children, a series of testimony for indigenous people describing matriarchal society on which Western culture imposed its taste and custom. In 1903, she made the film Kanasatake, 270 Years of Resistance, retracing the confrontation between the residents of Kanasatake and Oka. Her works is critically acclaimed and won her the Hommage pour la Paix and the Order of Canada. Through her film, Alanis showed an interest in educating today's youth to stop racism and discrimination. She involved in many projects that aim to inform and educate. Through education, one day we can live in harmony, free equality, and without judgment.
Alanis Obomsawin's life and films are defined by her defiance of corrupt authority. She consistently brings her fighting spirit to her work, educating people of all nationalities on First Nations people issues and traditions. Her work documents the experiences of Native people in North America in their own words and brings a feminist perspective onto these matters. Her work will continue to inspire young filmmakers and make room for more Indigenous art in Canada.